question?
Yes.
As you may know, the Cooperative Education Chairs are responsible for hosting AB Samahan's high school conference every year. This is one of AB Samahan's biggest events on par with FACN. This event is done at the end of the first semester after two other major events, FG and Kasama. How will you encourage the support of your executive board, especially your co, in planning this event when burnout may be very prominent? How will you divide the work between you and your co during planning?
That's a great question. Can you repeat that, please?
Would you like the full question or just the question part?
The full question.
The full question? As you may know, the Cooperative Education Chairs are responsible for hosting AB Samahan's high school conference every year. This is one of AB Samahan's biggest events on par with FACN. This event is done at the end of the first semester after two other major events, FG and Kasama. How will you encourage the support of your executive board, especially your co, in planning the event when burnout may be very prominent? How will you divide the work between you and your co during planning?
Okay. As for the e-board participation, I think an important thing to set straight away is the fact that we should have a timeline for everything that should be done, and that should also reflect the important events that we have with it, just so that after each event we do have a period where we can recuperate and eventually decompress, but also so that we still have a reminder of the tasks that do need to be done. And I think that one way to help this is to assign people to a specific project and make sure that each task has someone responsible and that everyone can participate on something, so that it's not just one person in each group chat trying to pull everyone together to work on it and then having it be stressful at the very end. I think if everybody knows that their roles in that specific task, everyone would be able to take initiative when they are available before the due date to make sure that it gets done on time. And as for the balance of work between the co's, I think that something that needs to be addressed is our availability throughout the school year, because obviously with school, we are students first, so we will need to prioritize other things. But I think that if both co's are transparent in when they need support, then we know when to take over and manage the other person's work for that as well. And I think another thing that is important to consider is our strengths and what we're good at, just so that we both have an extra support with each other, just so that if the other person is better at something, then they can also help with that as well, so that all of our bases are covered in getting everything done.
Thank you, Ellaine. Are you ready for your second question?
Yes.
HSC isn't the only event that the Cooperative Education Chairs plan. In the spring, the Cooperative Education Chairs plan our Filipino graduation ceremony. This ceremony involves finding a keynote speaker and purchasing stoles. This planning happens in sync with FACN, making it a project that isn't top priority to the executive board. How will you work with your store board and your co to purchase, plan, and outreach to graduates so PhilGrad can happen, especially when budget is limited due to the reimbursements for FACN, banquet, and other SWOR workshops?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Would you like the whole question or just the end?
Yes, the whole question, please.
Okay. HSC isn't the only event that the Cooperative Education Chairs plan. In the spring, the Cooperative Education Chairs plan our Filipino graduation ceremony. This ceremony involves finding a keynote speaker and purchasing stoles. This planning happens in sync with FACN, making it a project that isn't top priority to the executive board. How will you work with your store board and your co to purchase, plan, and outreach to graduates so PhilGrad can happen, especially when budget is limited due to the reimbursements for FACN, banquet, and other SWOR workshops?
Okay, so I think a lot of this does have to go into the planning part of it. I think that starting planning, especially right as FACN starts, would ultimately set ourselves up to be pushed on the back burner. And I do understand that FACN is a big event, but I think that if we start on especially the outreach early, then we should be able to find our resources sooner to be able to purchase the stoles and find the keynote speaker, so that we have everything and we're just finalizing the details and just the ultimate logistics towards the end of it to when FACN season is really ramped up, and especially when the performances and heavy week are happening. And as for, can you repeat the part of with SOAR and the codes, please?
Okay. How will you work with your SOAR board and your co to purchase, plan, and outreach to graduates so field grad can happen, especially when budget is limited due to the reimbursements for FACN, banquet, and other SOAR workshops?
Okay. With SOAR, I think that this would be a great part of utilizing our members, especially our grad student advisors, and especially our outreach. I think our grad student advisors are the ones that are gonna have a major connection, especially with our graduates, because they are 4th years or above, and they do have that experience. So I think in order to plan field grad, I would need to really utilize the grad student advisors for this. And as for with the codes, I think that a great part would be to split up the work and divide it. And so we could split it so that one of us would focus more on logistics, and then one of us would focus more on outreach. And then we would have to meet and frequently meet in order to make sure that we are on the same page and that nothing is left behind.
Are you ready for your final question?
Yes.
In recent years, SOAR can be seen as the least taken advantage of auxiliary, showing less numbers than any other auxiliary. How will you encourage the participation of GBMers in the SOAR space, building the SOAR community?
One thing that I noticed in GBMs is that the GBMers do enjoy our SOAR reports. So I think that in order to make sure that GBMers are aware of SOAR and especially all the things that we could provide, I think that we need to push SOAR reports to be year-round instead of just through the 2nd semester. And then that way, especially towards the beginning of the year, we do tend to have more active members. So I think that with the SOAR reports, they would know that SOAR is a resource there for them that they can turn to. I also think that we should have more decompression sessions, because that did seem to be popular, at least with our board and the very active members. I think that especially during the year, we have a lot of events. We have FG, we have HSC, and we have FACN. These decompression sessions, we can vary and tailor it based on what they want, especially through the workshop or the workshop interest form. I think that we could do that. We can do that for the decompression sessions as well, just to see what the members would want to see, and so we could tailor our activities and our reports towards the GBMers. And I think that would really increase our participation and really turn up our numbers.